Hey, welcome back to Silly Sasser. This video is going to be very enlightening. It is what we are experiencing in the world today, and it is going to just wrap everything up for you so you can understand how you can participate in this new evolution of where we're headed. So, one of the things I have been doing the inner work for 5 years now, and I understand how we get to where we are. Now, my guides have guided me to working with divine feminine energy. And if you follow astrology and you know that things are collapsing, if you're fully aware, if you know that things are collapsing in the world. And the reason why they're collapsing is because we are moving into another golden age. And this golden age is the age of Aquarius. And so with Pluto being in Capricorn, there's been a lot of destruction of the old ways, and especially hierarchy. Now, hierarchy, the perpetrator of the hierarchy is the patriarchy. And the divine feminine is going to step into the age of Aquarius. So in order for you to step into that energy fully, I'm speaking to the women in the world who have lost their way and who have been programmed through this illusion from the patriarchy. It is through the healing within. So I have talked about, I've spoke about this briefly on my TikTok channel, but I really want to start getting becoming more consistent on my YouTube channel, because a lot of what I have to share is longer version video, and it really takes you to want to sit and watch in order to absorb all of this information. So the information, I receive downloads all of the time, and the information that is coming through is that it is time for us to start to, whether you've gone through an awakening or you have been doing the inner work, are you just beginning the inner work, it is really time for you to start stepping into who you are. And I know this is going to be a lot, and I'm going to try to simplify as much as I can, but if you have had this awakening and you understand that everything that you thought was true is no longer true anymore, and you're feeling lost, and you want to know where you've been giving your power away, and how do you know if that's the direction you're supposed to be going through? I can only share from my experience. So through me doing the inner work, I was coming from a place of resentment, anger, more at myself for giving my power away. And as women, we do that a lot in our relationships. But we blame the other person for what we're experiencing, whoever is the relationship that you're having with. It could be a partner, it could be a parent, it could be a boss, it could be a friendship. But those are teaching you aspects of yourself. Those are teaching you why you are still operating from a people-pleasing energy. But I can take that further back to even peel back the layers even further, and it is through the programming of the patriarchy. When you think of the Bible, it begins with the programming. Now, if you know anything about King James, do your research. Do your research on King James. He's the one that rewrote the Bible, and he hated women. He was a gay male, and I don't want to go through it because I would like you to use your own discernment by you doing the work. But when you start peeling back the layers, you start understanding why you've been programmed, why you've allowed yourself to play it small, why you believe that you are here to serve the patriarchy. You're here to serve your man. You're here to put him up on a pedestal. It's been taking your power away. And through my journey, the first step that came through for me is Goddess Ishtar showed up in a dream. And she showed up as the morning star. And she is also the evening star, which is Venus. Venus is the brightest star in the astrological realm. Okay. And Venus represents the divine feminine. So if you look at any of the deities, the female deities, goddess energy, you will know that she is always connected to Venus. Venus is a very Venusian energy. It is pouring into yourself and loving every part of who you are. It's your essence. It is why you are here. You are here because you're a nurturer and your essence moves into the world. And if you look around where the essence of the divine feminine has been removed and has been pushed down, the reality of the state of the world or the country or the city, you will see the deterioration of the land of the state, right? And it is because there's this imbalance. So we've been going through this imbalance for a very long time. There's more in the masculine. Now, this is not about male and female when I talk about the energies, because everyone has feminine and masculine energies, but it is more about knowing what to do with those energies. And because I work with women, I'm talking to women about the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine energy aspect is nurturing. We nurture, and it comes to us naturally. We will always think of, and I know there's exceptions, right? So don't come at me and give me some examples. I know there's some exceptions, but a lot of the time it's because they've been hijacked by this patriarchal mindset, like the hustle culture, boss babe. It's like the grind. Okay, you are still in your masculine energy, and then that's why you feel depleted and you get burnt out. So in this new way of being, we are stepping into finding our essence. And our essence is more of a spiritual, like we have the physical and we have the spiritual. The spiritual is the feminine, the physical is the masculine. We can't do one without the other. So just like you could be in your imaginative state and you could be thinking of all the things you want to manifest, but you have to step into the masculine, which is more action taking. It's the same with the Venus and Mars placement. So there is that yin and yang, and so you have to have them both. Even when you look at your astrological chart, it's like you might either have more of yin energy or more yang energy. And so if you have more yin, you're going to want to balance it with the yang and vice versa. I know I'm covering a lot here. Anyway, let's continue. So what you need to do at this time is again, just had a thought. Self-love. There's a huge self-love movement. And the reason is because it is through pouring into yourself and remembering who you are that you begin to move in the world from the highest version for why you are here, why you are here at this particular time in the whole galactic centuries of timelines, why you're here on this timeline. And it is because you have a purpose. There is a reason why you're here, and your mission is to do the healing so that you can help with what is happening in the physical. And like I said, in the physical realm, we are experiencing an imbalance of the masculine. Masculine is about power, greed, distraction, selfishness. It's the me, and it's not about the we. And we're seeing that in every structure. It's been playing out. And so this is your time to start finding your power back, but you can't find your power unless you collapse timelines. So when someone says about manifesting, when someone tells you that you need to step into a positive mindset, know that you can't outrun yourself. So when you understand that God resides in you, the universe resides in you, you are connected to your higher self, you cannot outrun yourself. So wherever you go, there you are. You cannot gaslight yourself, because if you don't believe that, then you're not going to manifest it, right? It is in through the belief. But how do you get to the place of belief? Is by pouring into yourself, by understanding that energetically you have everything that you need. And to collapse those timelines where you started putting the mask on because something happened to you traumatically, somebody overstepped your boundaries, you experienced rejection, and all of those accumulate to you not knowing your worth, feeling unworthy, right? And you start to step into a people-pleasing energy because you don't want to be abandoned. You want to show that you're lovable. You want to show, which is one step up from a domesticated animal. Just think of how an animal, a domestic animal, behaves, okay? And then just think of one step up. That is the programming that we've been experiencing, because centuries ago, women knew they were healers, knew they were nurturers, and they connected with the elements. They were highly intuitive, and your crown chakra was wide open, and you received downloads, and you followed those intuitive downloads, where the patriarch could not do it because they were way in their masculine energy. And so because of that, they feared the female energy, and that's why women were burned. That's why they were crucified, because of this gift that they had. But the only way that we can move into this energy is to stand in our worth and start pouring and remove the veil of the programming that we are empty vessels, and that we have to fill ourselves up with their knowledge, whatever the programming is, and that we don't have any power, and we keep perpetuating the same belief. So this is the time that you're going to step into your worth. And the first thing is you need to be aware of your triggers. What is triggering you? What relationship is triggering you? What are you harboring about? What keeps you in the past? Like, if you think about where you are right now and why you aren't achieving what you want, living in the timeline in what you want, what are you telling yourself? Who are you blaming? Let's just go there. Who are you blaming for your circumstances? Because anytime you are in blame, you are in a victim energy. And when you are in the victim energy, you ream yourself as powerless. And when you think you're powerless, then you won't take the action that is needed to move you forward, because you can stay in that safe place of blame, and you get very comfortable with that belief. So look at what's triggering you. Who are you blaming? And then when you understand that, go into the internal work. Now, what I did over the years is I put pen to paper. I started journaling every single day, every morning. It's my daily ritual. I receive channels from other realms, as well as I receive enlightenment, information from my higher self that helps me, as well as information from my guides that help me through the transitions to learn how to integrate what these belief systems are and how I can collapse those timelines. The energy right now is very potent. The portals are open, and this portal that is open is for the healing of yourself to heal the planet. And so this is the time. If you're going to ever do this work, if you're ever going to get serious about changing the external environment, if you feel powerless, about what is going on in the world, this is the time for you to start investing in yourself. So, like I said, the first thing is you're going to want to trace back where you are being triggered. Where are you still stuck in that timeline? When you experience trauma, let's just go with physical trauma, it prohibits your growth. You cannot move because you're in your woundedness. Where whatever physical trauma you experience, you're in that wound. So everything that you do in your life is from that perspective. It's the lens that you're looking at your life through. So know that if you're feeling like you just can't move yourself in the direction that you want, it's because there is some healing so that you can collapse that, you can collect yourself, and you start living in this timeline. In my book, I talk about, life being a game, and how we can maneuver this is we stop playing checkers and we start playing chess. And when you're playing chess, you are in third person perspective. You are looking at everything in your life from a bird's eye view. When you're playing checkers, it's like you're jumping an eye for an eye, a tit for a tat. It's like, I blame you, you did this to me, and you're just playing checkers, but you're not getting anywhere. You might collect some of those checkers and think that you're winning in the game, but you're not, because the minute that they jump you, your man in checkers, then you're pissed off, and then you're like, I'll get you. It's like that. Where chess is more strategic, it is more looking at the game from a strategic point of view. So that's where I think of life, as a game. And how you start living an enchanted life is through healing your wounds and your inner child, and where you are abandoning her, because there are many versions of yourself that you are playing out right now. And that's why they call it the metaverse, right? Because there's multiple timelines, and there is where you didn't take this direction, you're still playing out that. And the reason why it's still playing out, because if you are still thinking about like, oh, what if I would have done it that way, then my life would have turned out this way, that is a reminder that you're still playing in that timeline. So collapsing the timelines by collecting yourself so that you can be the fullest version of who you are in this timeline shifts you into being and creating the reality in which you want to live in the here and the now. So going back to journaling is the only way, because we like to keep everything in our head. When you keep everything in your head, you can't play chess, because you have no game, you have no strategy. You're just putting fires out left and right, living your life from fight or flight. When you pull yourself out and you're like, I'm done playing checkers, I'm done trying to make somebody pay for what they did to me, then you're ready. And how you know you're ready is you start to say, I'm thankful for those things that happened to me, because the reason why they happened to me is so I could learn something about myself. Everything that I've attracted in my life is just a mirror of what I needed to strengthen in my life to be this higher version of myself. So I welcome it. You forgive yourself for allowing the abuse, or and not saying that you allowed it, okay? It is just, there's a lot of shame and guilt that we carry from our emotional bodies when somebody has overstepped our boundaries. And especially as a child, you believe you did something wrong and why you deserved whatever you experienced. So that's when I'm talking about allowing. You didn't physically allow it, but in your mind, in your emotional body, because you're holding on to shame and guilt, you're telling yourself that there is something that you are responsible for what you experience. So know that everything is to strengthen you for the here and the now, for this moment. I'm going to leave it. I know I covered a lot. I'm going to leave it with that. But just start with taking a third third person perspective, from a bird's eye view. Where are you giving your power away? What is showing up on repeat? What are your triggers? What are you still holding on to as far as pain, anger, resentment against a situation that happened? Because you cannot collect yourself to live in the here and now when you're still in that timeline. Create a ritual around journaling. Stop telling yourself you don't have time to journal. Stop telling yourself you don't know what to write. Just write. Just do some free writing, and then it'll start to come. When it becomes a ritual, you'll start to know that you're having a relationship with yourself, with your higher self when you journal. Because, like I said, you cannot outrun yourself, because wherever you are, wherever you run to, there you are. Just like you cannot gaslight yourself into believing what you want to manifest. You have to step into that energy of believing in you and your value, and that's where it begins. So I'm going to leave you with those things to work on, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment. Subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to go into this deeper every little section. I know it's like I just already dropped a lot on you right now, but I really want to hone this in so it's actionable steps, so that it can be practical. And I'm here for the Divine Feminine Rising, so that we can change the state of our planet. And I'll see you on the next video.